FEMA is not only failing to adequately help the people in trouble, but is actively blocking citizens who try to help. The big issue is that FEMA is actively blocking shipments and seizing goods and services locally and locking them away to state that they are their own. If you thought the way the federal government handled Katrina was bad, let me tell you right now, it pales in comparison to what I'm about to tell you today about Biden and Harris's recent response to the disaster situation in North Carolina. But first, I'm Vince with RTM News, and let me say that if you enjoy our content, be sure to hit that subscribe button down below, which goes a long way in ensuring we can keep bringing you videos like this, and especially in this case, this is important information that the mainstream media will not report on whatsoever, so it'd be greatly appreciated if you could support our work for free by hitting that subscribe button down below. And with that said, so there's a lot going on. All right, we'll break this down one by one, but first and foremost, I feel like the most headline story here is that not only is FEMA doing a very poor and slow job of providing relief to the disaster areas in North Carolina right now, but it is actively malicious because they are apparently blocking outside people like Elon Musk from being able to come in and do FEMA's job for them. Take a look at what he tweeted out. So he said that SpaceX engineers are trying to deliver Starlink terminals and supplies to the devastated areas in North Carolina right now, and FEMA is both failing to help and will not let others help. This is unconscionable. You know, you have people out here who have no communication. Who knows? You may have people currently starving or drowning as we speak. And the federal government is saying to people like Elon Musk who are trying to come in and aid the situation, no. They just took this video a few hours ago where you can see the level of devastation. You got roads, houses, electricity, water supply, ground internet connections are completely destroyed, and FEMA will not let Elon Musk people land to deliver critical supplies. He says his blood is boiling. It gets worse. Elon says that I just received this note from a SpaceX engineer helping on the ground in North Carolina. FEMA is not only failing to adequately help the people in trouble, but is actively blocking citizens who try to help. The SpaceX engineer apparently said, "Hey Elon, update here on site of Asheville, North Carolina. We have powered up 2 large operating bases for choppers to deliver goods into hands. We've delivered 300 plus Starlinks, and output is that it has saved many lives. However, the big issue is that FEMA is actively blocking shipments and seizing goods and services locally and locking them away to state that they are their own. It's very real and scary how much they have taken control to stop people from helping. We are blocked now on the shipments of new Starlinks coming through until we get an escort from the fire department, but that might not be enough." So not only is FEMA, under the leadership of the Biden-Harris administration, failing to help people, but they're actively hindering, blocking, and even threatening outside people like Elon Musk who try to come in and help the residents of North Carolina for them. And there's currently a blockade where you can't even access the disaster areas to give help to the people there. So this is absolutely infuriating, but when you consider the fact as well that the majority of the disaster areas in North Carolina are Republican-leaning areas, North Carolina is a swing state, and it is an election year, I think the scandal here gets much, much worse, okay? It is not ridiculous at all to say part of the reason the federal government is intentionally trying to make sure North Carolina does not get rebuilt between now and, let's just pick a random date, I don't know, November 5th, may be an intentional effort to suppress Republican votes in that state. I don't think that's crazy. And if you still don't believe me, let me assure you that the story does get much worse. So not only is Elon Musk saying that this is what FEMA is doing, but internal whistleblowers from within the agency wrote their own letter to Congress today. Check this out. FEMA whistleblowers have come forth alleging that the agency misappropriated funds in the wake of Helene, withheld pre-disaster aid, and that first responders and service members have been waiting in hotels without deployment orders. So this is what is currently going on, and let's not forget that FEMA themselves are the ones claiming they are out of money and resources.
FEMA is going to be playing a pivotal role in our shelter and services program that is poised to distribute $363 million to cities and communities in need of funding. We do not have the funds, FEMA does not have the funds to make it through the season. FEMA is going.
This is what they are saying, is that FEMA is out of money. Mayorkas goes out and says that they do not have the funds to make it through the season. There's a lot of problems with that. First of all, how much money do we send to foreign countries? How much money has been sent to Ukraine and Israel and all these different places in the past year, and yet the Biden administration says they don't have the money for FEMA? Absolutely ridiculous. But then on top of that, you really have to ask the question, if they are out of money, then where did the money go? Because just in July, Mayorkas was ensuring everyone that, no, we have plenty of funds and we know exactly what we are doing.
FEMA is tremendously prepared. This is what we do. This is what they do. And the key here, Rebecca, is also to make sure that the communities who are potentially impacted are prepared as well. And it's not just hurricanes and wildfires, also extreme heat, which certainly some parts of the United States are already experiencing.
So you said just back in July that FEMA was extremely prepared, and yet all of a sudden, out of nowhere, you ran out of the money for the rest of hurricane season. At the same time, though, when private people try to help and say, okay, fine, we'll give you the Starlink. No. It really makes you have to beg the question, where exactly did all of the money go? And would it exactly surprise you to find out that in the past year, FEMA has spent almost $1 billion giving free housing to illegal immigrants? Because that is real and that is true.
We're up to more than 200 people dead from Hurricane Helene. I'm sure you saw yesterday, DHS says FEMA doesn't have enough money to last hurricane season. What's your reaction to hearing that?
Well, they're doing a very bad job. They've given over $1 billion to illegal migrants that came in, and now they have no money for North Carolina, for Georgia, for South Carolina, and Alabama, Tennessee, and Florida. I think that's a disgrace. This is a country that's being run by fools.
How much is rent here?
Free. 2 years.
After 2 years, we have to pay the rent.
All right, y'all, this is Savannah Hernandez in Brunswick, Maine, reporting to you from the apartments where migrants are getting their rent paid for up to 2 years. Now, I wanted to give you guys a first inside look at these units. The migrants shared with us that they come furnished, so they have a flat screen TV in there, couches, tables and chairs, a bed. We also asked them as well, hey, are you paying utilities here? They shared with us that nope, they do not have a water bill, they do not have an electricity bill.
And what about the light and the water?
Everything is good. We don't pay anything.
Now, I wanted to focus.
So just so we're clear, when FEMA says they are out of money, this is why, okay? They spent almost $1 billion, actually, according to Trump, over $1 billion this year doing this. Okay, while millions of people in this country struggle to pay their rent at much less nice places than that, FEMA spent almost $1 billion giving out free luxury apartments up to 2 years. They don't have to pay rent or utilities. The places are pre-furnished to illegal immigrants. And if that doesn't give you deep disdain for the people in charge of our country, then I do not know what will. Okay, like I said, do you believe me now? Worse scandal than Katrina, because there's just so many levels to this. Again, first of all, FEMA claims they're out of money when they spent the entire year giving out all the money to illegal immigrants. That's bad enough. But then on top of that, you have whistleblowers within the own agency saying, well, they do have resources still. There's all these people here trying to help. You got these service members, you got the first responders, and they're just being told to stand down. FEMA's not using them. They're just waiting in hotel rooms for orders. And then when outside people like Elon Musk try to be charitable and say, okay, we'll bring the Starlinks, we'll give back internet and resources to all these people, FEMA is standing there on the road saying, no, you are not allowed to enter because we need to just sit back and make sure that all the people of Asheville starve, essentially, because that's our job or something. So many layers of incompetence. It is an absolute disgrace. And I just hope this story gets out before the election, because it is very crucial that people understand this is how our country is being run. But with that said, ladies and gentlemen, let me know your thoughts on all of this in the comment section down below. And until next time, I've been Vince with RTM News. Peace.